After a 6-month hiatus, the man who seems to get sacked at every job he goes to has somehow made a miraculous return to FC25. It's goodbye Ruud van Nistelrooy and hello once again to Adrian DG. And this time, he's not just here to take part, he's here to take over, take Leicester City back to the top of the Premier League and restore his managerial reputation along the way. Now, as you'll see from the date of some of these news reports, as requested by so many of you, we are making a live start point for the first time. And that means Leicester City at the very beginning of this career mode are being relegated to the Championship. And judging by the players stood in front of me, if we want to bounce back immediately, we're going to have to do a lot of work in the transfer market to improve this squad. First things first though, he may have left the club in real life, but I believe if I want to bounce straight back to the Premier League and I want to get the fans on side immediately, I need to re-recruit this man, Jamie Vardy, back to where he belongs. Of course, there's absolutely no doubt that he's an important player at the club, and I'm more than happy to offer him the extra 1 year here that he deserves. And with me offering him what I think are fairly decent terms, Jamie Vardy is happy to accept my offer, and it means that the club captain, club legend, the Red Bull ambassador himself, is happy to stay at Leicester City for one more season. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite change the fact that the rest of this squad is quite a significant mess. Now, there were a lot of you out there that were imploring me to move away from this 4-4-1-1 system over to a 5-2-3 with wingbacks, and of course Adrian DG is only too happy to cater to his supporters. I think we're going to have more luck in the Championship than the Premier League, so I'm comfortable pushing my defensive line high, and whilst we don't have the technical prowess to play in a tiki-taka or Gegenpressing style, and with Jamie Vardy losing a yard of pace, counter-attacking football won't work for us either, but I do think that wing play will be a solid approach. And so with the tactical setup sorted, I think it's time to take a deeper dive into some of the players I've got at my disposal. Now, whilst the contracts of Danny Ward and Daniel Everson might be expiring in 1 month, whilst Mads Hermansen is injured at the moment, I'm fairly confident that the 77 rated 24-year-old can be my long-term goalkeeper in the Championship. At left-back, Luke Thomas and Victor Christensen are decent options for that wing-back position. And on the other side, with James Justin and Ricardo Pereira to choose from, I think right-back also isn't a high priority position. However, after conceding 81 goals in the Premier League and finishing up with a minus 45 goal difference, there can be no doubt that not a single centre-back at this club is going to be up to scratch, and so that is why Yannick Vestergaard at 32 years of age, you can go straight on the transfer list. Connor Cody, you can go straight on the transfer list too. Harry Sota and Caleb Okoli, count yourselves lucky that you've got age on your side, and count yourselves lucky that I've only got £30 million to spend, and a hell of a lot more work to do on this squad. Otherwise, you two will be following them out the door as well. Connor Cody's the first man out the door to Como for 1.35 mil, and Yannick Vestergaard follows him very swiftly afterwards, 2.4 to West Ham. And with Wout Faes, the third of three, departing to Vallecano for 2.5, it's time to start looking at my own shortlist to see who's going to be the men to replace them. Now, Pascal Struijk and Kevin Bassey are the two most highly rated defenders on my list, but with this man plying his trade for Fulham in the Premier League, and this man about to ply his trade in the Premier League once again with Leeds United, unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to rule the pair of them out. However, there is a man with both international and Premier League experience who can't buy a game at his club at the moment, and I think could do quite a decent job for us back in the Championship, as the Swedish international Victor Lindelof becomes the first man to join the Adrian DG Leicester City revolution for £3.3 million. Now, back to the review of our squad, and with only 2 positions in the heart of that midfield, and with 5 pretty decent players all vying for those positions, I think I'm pretty well stocked at the heartbeat of my team. However, on the right-hand side of midfield, with an ageing Jordan Ayew being stuck on the transfer list, with an ageing D. Cordova-Reid being stuck on the transfer list, with Facundo Buonanotte returning from a loan spell to Brighton, and with me not really thinking Casey McAteer's got enough in the tank to try and challenge this man Abdul Fatawu for a starting spot. Once again, it's time for me to raid the transfer market, this time for a Frenchman who's had a wonderful campaign at Stade Bretois this season. We're adding more experience to our ranks as it's signing number 2, 29-year-old Romain de Castello, and at 77 rated, I think we've got some real firepower down the right-hand side of our midfield. However, with Mavididi being the only senior option I've got on the left, and once again we are raiding Ligue 1 for even more experience. This time it's experience in the form of a 28-year-old Ivory Coast international who's been playing for Nice for the last couple of years. He actually came out of the Chelsea Youth Academy and he's finally ready to make the move back to England. That's right, it's time to say hello to our third and final signing of this episode. Jeremy Boga joins Leicester City Football Club for £6.4 million. And the reason that I'm leaving it there is because I need your help to decide who I'm going to be bringing in next. I think Victor Lindelof is going to be a decent signing at the back for me, but with me now switching to a formation that requires 3 central defenders, and with me only being left with 3 senior players at the club, I need your help to decide who's going to be my very next central defensive reinforcement. And whilst Jamie Vardy is now the proud new owner of a bright, shiny new contract, with him retiring at the end of the season, and with the 72 rated Preston Daka really not living up to expectations, once again I think a striker, a man to lead the line for me, is going to be a high priority this season. So once again, you guys know the score. Scouts at the ready, let me know who you want to be the man to lead the line for Leicester City Football Club in this career mode. And with youngster McAteer departing to Sheffield United, Cordova Reed saying bye-bye to Salzburg, it's time to head on over to Millwall to face off in our very first game back in the Championship. There's smiles all around the stadium as the football campaign is finally back up and running. But will there be smiles at the end of the 90 minutes from the travelling Leicester City fans? Only one player will make his debut in a Leicester City shirt in this game as Victor Lindelof comes in at the back. As you can see, the other 2 signings, Boga and Del Castillo, have to settle for places on the bench. This is the starting 11. Jamie Vardy, of course, the captain, and lead the line for us. Now, it has been about 8-9 months since I've picked this game up. I literally have not played it since the very last time I finished off my Liverpool career mode, so you may have to bear with me if you see some sloppy challenges and some sloppy play as I get back to work and get used to playing this game once again, as I almost, oh my goodness, I do, I absolutely smash it into the top right hand corner and I take it all back. Jamie Vardy, take a bow. That is absolutely outrageous. Took it onto his weaker foot and struck it from outside of the box. The keeper had no chance. Millwall shell-shocked. Leicester City in disbelief. 1-0 inside the opening 6 minutes. Goodness gracious, what a start to this league campaign. What a way to stamp our authority here in the Championship. As the new signing Victor Lindelof makes a wonderful interception as well. It's Thomas to bring it out from the back. Ndidi all the way over to Fatawu on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, sorry. Looking to thread a ball through into Jamie Vardy. Does it once again, the Englishman. Tried to hit it first time. Why didn't he take it on his right? It's Mitchell for Millwall, their first real foray into this half here, and that is a defence-spinning pass right into Honeyman, who took it on. A tame shot, easy in the end for the goalkeeper to save. Big let-off there for Leicester City, and perhaps an early warning that I cannot be too complacent here. Yes, we are one of the favourites to get promoted in the Championship, but we cannot take anything for granted this season. Alcanis tries to play it all the way through to Mavididi. The young man tried to latch onto it, just didn't have the pace to get there ahead of the defender. Fleming, oh, lovely challenge this time by Sota, playing for his Leicester City career. He knows the scouts are out in force looking for new central defensive reinforcements, and he's got to try and do what he can try and do best. Make tackles, get in the right positions, and try and desperately keep hold of that central defensive spot. It's Grant for the free kick here for Millwall. Flings it into, well, the edge of the box here, but Sota once again with a big unchallenged header here. Mavidi now tries to bring it away. Skips past one challenge. Can he skip past the second? Instead, he comes inside. Look for the overlapping run of Luke Thomas. Finds that run. Thomas is going to fling it into the box. Looking for Fatawu on the edge. He finds Ndidi with the volley over the bar. It's been a good start for Leicester City so far in this game, and it's a really good start for Jamie Vardy. Almost handed on a plate for him, and he was so close to his second goal. We just needed to chip it over the goalkeeper, but lacked that little bit of composure to do so. Mavididi back into Jamie Vardy, looking to make amends for that earlier mistake. Plays it over to Fatawu. Fatawu tried to come inside, blocked off though. Not really had much luck down that flank so far this game. Honeyman for Millwall, into Fleming. Tries to turn a collie. Does turn him, sorry. And plays a lovely ball back into Honeyman. But it's Lindelof with a crunching challenge as the referee blows for half time. We begin at the second 45, hoping to cling on to this 1-0 lead. Of the two teams, we have been the better. We have carved out the clear-cut opportunities, but we haven't been able to take him. We've just got to hope that doesn't come back to bite us at the end of the 90 minutes here, as Mavididi once again comes inside, looking for space. Well blocked off though by the defender. Tries to play it over. Does play it straight through the middle here, but it's a collie with a lovely challenge. He plays a nice little ball through into Fatawu, looking for a little bit more luck down this flank. Finds Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy for his second. Jamie Vardy finds the back of the net and he kicks the corner flag in celebration. Well, I said Fatawu was having no luck down that right-hand side, and this time he came into the centre. Jamie Vardy just peeled off the shoulder of the defender, doing what that man does best. And at 38 years of age is absolutely no number for the former English international. His second goal of the campaign, and he's got to be in the hunt for the top goal scorer in the season. Alcanus trying to skip away from a couple of challenges, does just that, plays it back out to the dangerman Fatawu on the right-hand side. He's going to look to try and see if he can do what he did earlier. Once again, this time, well read by the defenders though. It's Brian for Millwall here, plays it down the left-hand flank. This is the first time really in the entire game that Millwall have really been able to sustain a decent period of possession here, and they try to throw it into the box. This time it's a Collie once again who defends really well, and Fatawu now to break, leading away, and that is an audacious ball right over to Mavidi on the right-hand side, and he manages to find him, and he plays a lovely ball back into Ndidi. Ndidi tries to cut it back across. He does, this time looking for Vardy. Vardy gets his hat-trick. The Millwall defence is absolutely chopped to pieces. Jamie Vardy gets his third goal of the game. It's our third goal, and that is game over here. Lovely piece of play. I thought the momentum of the attack was just starting to dial down, but we found a lovely pocket of space, drilled a ball across to Jamie Vardy, who of course inside the 6-yard box is not going to miss from there. The man with the plan once again steps up at the right moment, and our captain, leader, legend, scores his third goal of the game. Canus, a nice little ball out to James Justin, and the right back storming forward here. We're looking for a fourth. We're looking to embarrass Millwall here. Jamie Vardy! Oh my goodness, I thought that was going to be the best of the lot. But as you can see now, with the game done, 15 minutes left on the clock, it's time to welcome the two new signings onto the pitch for their first taste of Championship football. Alcanus out to that man Jeremy Boga for his first touch in a Leicester City shirt, and this is a lovely run, plays it into Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy's in. It's goal number 4, and I've got to be honest, whilst it's absolutely wonderful to see Jamie Vardy getting his 4th goal of the game, I have to wonder whether or not I've set these sliders a little bit too easy on my first game back here on this FC25 Career Mode. For anyone who was a long-time viewer of me all those months ago, you will know that, let's be honest, I am pretty shocking at this game. So the fact that I'm winning 4-0 is slightly alarming here in the opening day of the Championship. Is it that Millwall are just terrible? Is it that Leicester City are just a cut above the opposition? Or have I made a little bit of a mistake with how I've set up the AI here? That man Jamie Vardy won't care one bit though, because as the referee calls time on our first game back in the Championship, he will take the match ball home. 4 goals to his name. The very first game. What a way to start his and Leicester City's campaign. I mean, it's a wonderful sight, top of the table, and hopefully we can stay there for the foreseeable future. But let's take a quick look at the settings to see what I can change. As you can see, I've tried to keep everything fairly straightforward and fairly even. 50s right across the board with most of the sliders. The only real change is a little bit to the shot speed and a little bit to the pass speed. As you can see though, the biggest ones are the positioning. I really found when I was playing before that actually just the run frequency of both my players and the AI was just non-existent, so I've ramped that up massively. Maybe I've ramped it up a little bit too much. The line height with the defensive unit is pretty straightforward for both teams, so I'm not really quite sure what I'm doing wrong. Let me know down in the comments below how you normally set your sliders up and whether or not there are some things I should really change. Maybe the big thing is though that with those changes I am still playing on world class. I'm going to shift that up to legendary, and with our first home game of the campaign against another former Premier League team in Watford, let's see whether or not that shift up in difficulty is going to make any difference here today. It's the same starting 11 as the one that absolutely trounced Millwall 4-0. Let's see what we can do. Ndidi trying to break the lines of the midfield here. He's held up well though by the Watford midfield as well. Alcanus tries to play it through, blocked off once again. This time he's going to go out to the right hand side. Fatawu tries to dink a ball over to Jamie Vardy, well headed away into Sota. Alcanus picks it up once again, a nice little pocket of space, wriggles away from one challenge, wriggles away from two, as does Mavididi. Tries to skip one challenge, tries to play it into the box, looking for Fatawu on the back post. Can't quite reach him though. Look at the play here from Watford already, keeping the ball much better, working it well into my penalty area and getting the first shot of the game away. I can already tell that the increase in difficulty is a little bit more of a struggle for me. How long can I hold on for? James Justin out wide to Fatawu on the right hand side. He's got the pace and the legs to get away from the defender, but instead tries to cut back in, shifts it onto his left. Look for the strike. It was a good one, forced the goalkeeper into a save. We got our first corner of the game. It's one that Alcanus is going to take. He's going to float this one into the penalty spot, looking for the new man, Victor Lindelof. His head was a bit wild, but the goalkeeper made a right hash of that. Andrews now down this right-hand side. Where on earth am I defence here? Can we hold him up? No, we can't. Played across, straight at the goalkeeper, straight back into the path of the attacker. He puts it in the back of the net, but I think the linesman has waved his flag for offside. And we've got away with one there because the counter-attack for Watford was on. Our defence was nowhere to be seen. and he was just inches offside there. We breathe a sigh of relief. Fatawu picks it up once again. Fatawu looks inside for Jamie Vardy, who's come short. Really good play here. Jamie Vardy looks to play it across. Poor pass though from the Englishman. Watford playing the ball around really nicely here. Lovely play here. But Harry Soto once again in the right place at the right time. Clearly he's heard the rumours and clearly he's looking to put them right here as Mavididi looking to take on a shot. Oh my goodness! The goals we are scoring in this career mode in the opening 2 games are nothing short of sensational. Well, the young man picked up the ball in the middle of the park and he did the rest himself, drove through the midfield, and that is an absolutely audacious strike, rifled into the top left-hand corner. The keeper with no chance. We take a 1-0 lead. My goodness, what a way to get your first goal of the game and get your first goal of the campaign here for Leicester City in the Championship. So far, so good. Even with the change to Legendary, we're still running the game here, and Kudus is running all the way into the heart of the Watford midfield as he tries to play a ball through into James Justin, dinks it over, looking for Jamie Vardy, couldn't quite get there. Well, here we go then, just under 45 minutes now to try and see if we can keep our second clean sheet of the campaign. A far cry from what we did in the Premier League last season. Hermansen, though, doing his best to hold on to it. Early corner here for Watford inside the second half. 50 minutes on the clock. It's thrown into the box. It's Lindelof with the big head, showing all of that experience to be in the right place at the right time. It's out to the edge of the box, though. Lovely pass in. Hermansen makes a bit of a hash of it, but luckily there was no one around him and he manages to pick up the loose ball. Throws it across to Luke Thomas. Nice little head down into Kudus. Out to Mavididi, the goal scorer, full of confidence, looking for Jamie Vardy. Finds Jamie Vardy, who once again makes that run into the channel. Jamie Vardy on his right. Good save. Those two once again linking up well. It's those channel runs that Jamie Vardy is making. The defenders are really struggling with it. It's out to Fatawu. Hits it with his left. Falls to Lindelof. Lindelof has no space. Plays it back out to Kudus. Flings it into the box, looking for the back post. Well headed away and well defended by the Watford centre-backs. Into Dumbia. Lovely little turn away from the defender here. And Lindelof tries to come across to cover. Has he done enough? Yes, he has, the Swedish international. But then he makes a right mess of that. It was almost a real howler there, and we just about managed to get out of trouble as that's a horrendous challenge. Tawu comes central. Oh, that is lovely to skip away from the challenge of the defender. Nice little pass into James Justin. Ndidi looking for Jamie Vardy, but I don't want him there. I want him in the box here. Plays it back to Fatawu. Looks to shift it onto his left. This time the defender gets the better of him. Watford now can bring it away. It is 3-on-3 here. They've got options, but he's not choosing to find any of them. Where on earth are my defence? It's taking them ages to try and get back, and fortunately enough, Watford wasteful there, and they didn't manage to take advantage of the counter-attack. Mavididi back into Jamie Vardy. About 10 minutes left remaining on the clock here. I'm trying to wait to make some substitutions, but the game is yet to be paused and yet to go out of play here as Fatawu looks to try and see if he can be the man to add the second goal of the game. Out to Ndidi, I should say. That is not easy for me to say as he tries to lash a strike into the top left-hand corner as the Watford player who put an absolute horror challenge on my defender gets a yellow card for his troubles. Well, having not commented on a game of football for about 8-9 months, I've got to try and see if I can work my way back into it. It's going to take a little bit of time, but hopefully give it a few episodes. We will be right back on form here as Watford look like they're on form and look like with a couple of minutes left they're going to try and see if they can find the ever-needed equaliser for them. It's blocked off though by the defender. Brilliant challenge from Macaulay, I believe it was. That was 1 minute on the clock by stoppage time. Watford have a corner. Flung into the box. This time it's Ricardo Pereira on as a substitute. Heads it away. Preston Daka, another substitute. Heads it clear. Only out as far as Barr, I think it is. Turns away from Harry Winks. Watford now desperately searching for the equaliser onto the edge of the box. This time it's Victor Lindelof showing all that experience to be in the right place at the right time. Hack the ball away as the referee calls time. It's game number 2. It is victory number 2. And it's clean sheet number 2 to boot. Watford made us work for it, but with our first game at home here in the Championship, we get another 3 points. It's 6 on the board. That man with an absolutely wonderful strike to separate the two teams. And with Leicester City top of the table, and with 2 weeks remaining until the summer transfer window slams shut, once again I leave my transfer decisions up to you. Are those clean sheets leading me into a full sense of security? Do I need to prioritise another centre-back? Or with Jamie Vardy's 4 goals against Millwall a flash in the pan, and I need someone to challenge him up front this season? Let me know down in the comments below who you want to see in a Leicester City shirt this season. And once again, that is going to be that for the end of this very first episode. Welcome back to a career mode with Adrian DG on FC25. Thanks again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.